One moment. Okay, I should be live. Just gonna have to pull up the stream, make sure it's working, and then I'll get started. Looks good to me. Okay, yeah. All right. So I mentioned that I should have a I should have had a time lapse done by yesterday, but that didn't happen. But I should have this game finished this weekend. I'm not going to be working on this game in this stream. I'm going to be working on the chess thing, but I figured I'd show it off anyways. So the idea for this game, which is like mostly mechanically done. I just have to do some polishing and because believe it or not, this is not the full extent of the polish, but I still have to do some polishing and then add like actual content, so stuff to go and do, and then audio and music. So I have a little bit left to do for this game, and then it'll be released. There's a small chance it gets released today. I'm not sure about that. Depends on how the music composition ends up going. I might end up getting lucky and only spending a couple hours on that, and if that happens, then it'll probably be out today. Otherwise, I would expect it maybe tomorrow, and whenever we release it, I'll also be putting out the time lapse, so you'll get that video soon too. Anyways, yeah, so the idea is just kind of, it's a platformer, but you expose your surroundings by basically flinging paint everywhere, and it kind of looks like watercolor is the idea. It's not a difficult game. You fall off, it doesn't matter. You just teleport back up. You don't get really punished for it because you can barely see anyways. I didn't want to make it like too intense of a game because, I mean, you can't really see what you're doing. So the point is to just run around and kind of have fun. So I have 2 jump like level ups in this level here, but you can like wall jump and stuff like that. The player doesn't have animations yet. That's also something I have to do. But yeah, almost done. Anyways, so today's project though is going to be the chess game, not this. Let me pull that up. Hang on. All right. So here's the chess stuff. I haven't read this in a while, so I'm gonna have to figure out live whether, like, how much I'll be able to do today. Having a hard time speaking because I just woke up. Are you guys able to? Are there any issues for the stream or something? Because normally people would be chatting by now. I'm gonna double check that in a moment. Alright, it looks fine, I think. But I did forget to tell people that was live, so I'll do that in a moment. But yeah, so this is the list of what I'm doing here. Let's see. Press round state, player makes a move every time the move set is updated. Move set is normally one word. Is it? No, I guess I got the red dots. Maybe it's not. Moveset, I think a moveset is one word. At assumed round end time, make requests every 0.25 seconds for round results. Conscious moves. Go back to 1. I might be able to do all of this right here today. And then if I get through this, it will be play testable, and I'll be able to play battle royale chess with people. Hold on, I'm gonna put the thing in Discord. All right, here we go. Are there any good tutorials on Raylib? I haven't. I think their documentation was pretty good, if I remember correctly. I messed around with it a little bit, but there's some annoying things that are a bit unintuitive. And then I'm not sure if they fixed it, but there were performance issues with the Python port of it. So yeah, there's that. I feel like for a lot of things, the way I make games, or like the types of games that I make, are best suited for actually using Pygame with, and then feeding that output into OpenGL so I can use shaders, which is how that game I just showed works. It's using I render everything on surfaces. I pass like 3 or 4 surfaces over to modern GL, and then I can use shaders on the surfaces. All right. Okay. So, request round state every 0.5 seconds until around 80 is expected value. I think what I'm going to do here, I'm going to close everything, and then I'm going to pull up the server. Wait, this is game state. This is not game. Oops. Looking for this one. So I need to pull up the server. So what is this? Just desktop, active, chess royale, and then I can do server.py. Now I should be able to start the game, maybe. Alright, and then it'll try and connect. Oh right, I forgot I have to start multiple instances. Wait. So game.py, and then over here I can do ABC, and then with 2 people connecting, it should be able to. Did I close that, or what did I do with that? Oh, no, it's right there. Okay, so I have these 2 things. So can they both can only move red. Is that what? I don't know what happened there. It's like I have to double click, but that shouldn't. Is my mouse flaking out? Or like, are the hitboxes wrong? Oh, it's because I have to click onto the window. Just select the window first, and then I can click. Yeah, okay. So, as you can actually, no, you can't see this, but I can see this. It's the positions of the pieces are not networked. The only thing that's kind of agreed upon here is, I guess, a turn order and the turn durations. I'm not sure how far I was in the netcode because it's been like 3 weeks since I worked on this. ASK move duration. I'm trying to, like, what am I actually getting from the server here? So we get game state. And where are we pulling game state? I'd assume it's over here. Yep. Attempt sync board. Yep. So the board, it looks like it gets synced on join, and that's about it. And then after that, it doesn't update. So that needs to be updated. Alright. So the starting point here, I believe I put this in the correct order, so you can just start here. So request round state every 0.5 seconds until round ID is expected value. This happens at the end of the round. Let's see. So there's a point in here where it just tries to jump to the next round. And what is it? I think it's right here. So turn end. Wait. Alright. So live move buffer. So this is executing moves. I think right here is what I'm looking for. Finish execute moves. So this is when it finishes the round updates. Actually, it shouldn't even go into the state. Okay, right here. Actually, this is what I'm looking for. This function should not be called until it syncs with the server. So all I have to do, request round state every 0.5 seconds. Okay. So round ID is expected value. So that should be happening right here when this is 1. So I think right here I actually just kind of pull this out and ignore it, and then put this into networking. So this is game.gameState. Does gameState have a global reference? I think it does, but I gotta check. So gameState is a ref node, which means that I have a global reference to it in networking. I can do it would be here's application state. So this is the loop right here. I can do like a tick index thing and then do it on the 5th tick. Are they all 0.25 seconds? Yeah, well, the second thing where it does it is also 0.25 seconds. So I'm gonna do a tick thing. So self.tick equals 0, and then I can just add to it. I can do self.tick plus equals 1, and I can do, what is it? What state would the game be? That is the question. So yeah, game state. Actually, no, I think this is under actual state, not game state. So state is right. Oops, hit my microphone. State is right here. So we have application state. It goes connect, login, connect game. So we're in game. So let's do right over here. We can do if self.nd state dot. I don't even know. Okay. So if that is the case, and then we can take this and then swap this over here to be game state. If the game state turn progress is 1, so it thinks it's at the end of the turn, then if self.tick percent or modulo 5 is 0, that's every 5th tick, and the ticks are 20 times a second, which puts us at the 4 times a second thing as I had in my list. This is the condition we have for checking for the round state. So if I make a request to sync the board, it'll try to update the turn end. I don't know if that's what I'm looking for. Request round state. Is that supposed to be different from the board state? That is the question. So the round state is wait. Okay, so let's go over to the server here. Let's see what information it actually gives me. So it gives me the board, the players, the turn end. I'm just like bumping into everything right now. I just hit my desk. So it gives me the turn end, the players. Just give me the round ID. I'm not seeing it at the moment. Game data equals game.json. Let's see if the game has the round ID. Game. So okay, realistically, first of all, I'm making these requests a bunch, so I probably don't want all the board data. I know all the board data is in this endpoint. So I only need the board data. Where would it be? Oh wait, this is the beginning of the round. I was thinking of the end of the round. At assumed round end time. So this is actually the one I'm doing right now. At assumed round end time, make requests every 0.25 seconds for round results. Round results should specify round resolve end time calculated by serve. So I can make a round end endpoint, I guess. We can put that right here. App.root round end methods equals post. Yeah, I'm using Atom right now. Round end, and then we can just grab the user ID and actually get the user object, which is right here. So there's games.game current game ID. So this will fetch the game for us. And then, where's this being pulled from? So this is coming from server games. So it gives games, and then where's this JSON thing coming from? It's doing game.json. So the games are, oh, they're just board states. Okay. Alright, so let's get the list of what I need here. So I need turn end. Did I even say? Yeah, the round resolve end time. Actually, it doesn't need the when the turns ended. It needs the play backend. So let's put round end, because this is actually different from turn end because of the playback phase. And then it also needs to give the results of all the moves. So what I'm noticing here is that I probably should add the part where it sends the server the moves. So let's say round end and return let's say round moves. So that's the only information you need. So I will get back to that later. So right now it looks like we actually need to do, what is it, number 2? Player makes moves. Every time the move set is updated, it gets sent to the server. Let's do app.root update moves methods equals post def update moves. And then we grab the user and then the game, as we do in the other endpoints. And then, let's see here. So the moves will be equal to request.json moves, I guess. Let me take a look at how this is arranged. So I believe it's in board state, right here. So we have move order, move queue. Which one? I guess it might need both of those. So let's see, execute one move will take self.live move buffer. Where's this coming from? Oh, it's right here. Okay, so it goes through the turn order, and then the team moves, which is custom move order, move queue. So it does use both. So what I do need to send it is the move order and the move queue, and then the server will have to be able to merge that. So the way this will be move order, move order, and then this is going to be the actual move data. Yeah, Right, so take the, what is it, move Q, and then now we have the information we need. And alright, so using the move Q and move order, that needs to be merged into our game state, which is under games. Actually, I think it's just a game object right here. So game, that game, wait, no, not that game, games. Game, that game is this, which returns the board state, presumably. So now I need a function in the board state for merging in data, which that's game state, board state. So I have to be able to merge in the move order and everything. So the way it's going to work is it's going to completely overwrite whatever was previously sent by that player. So let's do DaFluffy players, nope. Where is the, I'm looking for some of the code for the move stuff. So where does it normally get added? Is it down at the bottom? Like when you click and move the pieces, there should already be some code for that. Is it in the UI and then is it just hard coded? Let me see. Moves. It's like a left click thing. Is it under here? What? Where is this code? So there's input.update. Maybe that's where it is. Did I write it in here? Wait. So we get left click. Do I actually just have to search for left click? I don't know where this code is. Board state. Okay. Oh, it was in here. Oh, it's in render prep. What? Okay. Okay, so we get left click. Selects a piece. If the move, okay, so if you haven't done all of your moves yet, Okay, it's selected piece, this is what I'm looking for. This is where it is. Okay, so the move queue, selected piece ID basically, update the location, and then add it to the move order. So this information kind of needs to be merged in. We also need to account for the maximum amount of moves for the player. So let's do a def merge move data, and then we take self, and then from the server we take move order, move queue, move order, move queue, and then we have to merge that in. So does it actually? So in the move execution, it breaks the moves down into their respective teams and then goes to the team order itself. So I can actually just add it straight in, it looks like. There's a way to combine dictionaries, I believe. I'm gonna have to check how you do it. I forgot what it was. No, it's just to update, I think. So I believe so I wanted to remove all of the moves from this player. So is there like it's gotta be a team ID, and then I looked at all the pieces that get moved. Wait, let me see how the IDs work on this. So when I move a piece, so it adds a UID, and that's also the key for the move queue. And then so I gotta look up that piece, I believe. So actually look through all those pieces to figure out who. I think I can assume that the first piece is the player I'm dealing with, or I can actually pass it in. I'm trying to think if the server has the user team associated with it. So if I go over to users, ID, last thing shoot, nope. It doesn't know the team it's on. Maybe it could be in the game data. Game players. Is there anything with teams? I'm just gonna search the code for team and then see what the results are. So the board state has the actual teams, and then oh, team ID right here in the player. Wait, is player separate from users? Oh, it is. So I think this is what's stored in the game's instance. Is the question is, how do I get the player from the user ID? That is the problem. Is the user ID the player ID? It depends on how this is initialized. So player ID, it's given. So let's look for where this is created. So add players, that doesn't help. So add players gets called, presumably, and then I can do let's see. There's no way. That's not correct. What? Oh, it's add player. Okay, it's called one time. It's right here. Okay, so it's by the user ID. So now I have to figure out where the players are stored. So players goes here. It's in the game players by the game ID. Def team ID self, and then we just give it the user ID, and then from here we'll say team ID equals 0 or -1, and then we can do if user ID in oh, we need the game ID. So I believe there's a way to get the game ID from the user. Current game ID right here. So I can go over here, and then I go game ID equals I need to grab the user object. How do I get the user? I can get all of the players. Wait, how did I must have some code that does this already. Users.user. Okay, that's sort of over here apparently. So give it game ID, user ID. We'll do that. Self dot game players game ID dot, and then we grab our team ID, right? Team ID. So that's an attribute, and then we just do team ID equals that. So we don't need. Wait, game players. That's not right. Game players, user ID. Wait. Not game ID, and then we'll do. This contains the list of players, and then is there any way that these are? Oh, we do the player map. Player map, and then we do user ID, and I believe that gives us what we need. And we can do if game ID in game players. Why do I have two cursors? That's not what I want. Right. So we take that, and then we do if the user ID is in this. Then we can grab this, and then we can return the team ID. So with a team ID, we now know what team the request is associated with. I can do it over here. So team ID equals games.game. Wait, where did I put this? Is this in the game object? Game, no, it's just in games. Games dot team ID. We give it the game ID, which is game. User dot current game ID, and then we need to give it the other thing, which is the user's ID. I believe, right? Yeah. So with the team ID, there should be I should be able to write the function now over here. We take the team ID, we'll call this function, which is in the board state, over in the server. Go right here. We say game dot do that, and then team ID. We give it the move order, move queue. All right. So now we have to merge this data in. So we take the team ID. We need to filter out any pieces that are not valid for that team ID. So all we have to do, for piece in move order, piece, I'll call it piece ID, equals, so we need to find a piece. I believe it's just, this piece is an object, and it's a list. It's gonna be a fast thing. Piece map. Self.piece map. Piece ID. Alright, so we look that up. We do if, wait, okay, let's do a valid move order equals that. And then we do if piece ID in self.piece map. So first make sure the piece we're talking about is valid. Then we can take that piece, and then we have to check the piece's team. They have piece in here, I don't see it. So piece will be, where is it? Pieces. So piece will have, does it not have a team? Really? Has a UID. How do I know what team it's on? Colored pieces. Oh, it goes by owner. I believe owner is the team. So when I create the pieces, I'm gonna assume, so if piece.owner is team ID, I believe that's what I'm looking for. I can go over to the game setup, I believe, and it'll have, wait, let's do this. Piece.create, piece type owner equals 0, team ID, yep, we're good. So that would mean, where was I? Okay. So this means it's valid. If the team ID matches and it exists, it means it's valid. So we do valid move order.append. We can add in our piece ID. And then, so this is now filtered for valid moves. Filter for valid moves. Or what the game thinks are valid moves. In reality, when it goes over to execute them, it'll do some checks to make sure it's actually valid. So now it needs to be merged in. So the way this is going to work, we need to delete all the pieces, or not pieces, all the moves associated with this team. So we do for piece ID in, I believe it's self.move order, right? Self.move order. And then we grab the piece. I believe we want to copy this so we can clear it out properly. So if the piece exists, we do self.piece map piece ID the owner is team ID. Then we can delete it. So we do self.move order.remove piece ID, and then we also do del if piece ID in self dot move q del self.move q piece ID, and that will leave us with all the data removed. So now we just need to merge in the new data. So we do self.move order.append, and then we add in our moves, which will be a valid move order, and then for move in a valid move order. Actually, I believe that's piece ID, not move. All right. Self.move q piece ID equals move q piece ID. All right. So this should merge the data in. So move the old data, add new data, and that's the 3 parts here. So this should merge in the data we need. And to test this out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to print self.move order, self.move q. Let's go over here. So whenever I make a move, I need to be able to make that request. So def update moves, and then we can do just self, I guess. And do I need the, no, I can just grab this, and then the public ID. All right, so payload equals this. We can do user ID equals that, and then we need to grab the board. We need the move order. So we grab the board, give him the board. I believe that's the board state, right? board state right there. So we can do from here, we grab the move order, move Q, move order, and then move Q. Alright. So that's our payload. So we just do self.post, and then we do the endpoint we just made, which is the update moves, and then we give it the payload. So we post to there, and that should be that. Yep. Alright, let me read chat real quick. You're almost finished with your first commercial game with Pygame. Nice. I haven't released a commercial project in a while. Hopefully I'll have one next year. It's definitely not happening out this year at this point. But I will have some games out this year. So like there's this chess game. I don't know how publicly released this will be, but there's the game that I showed at the beginning of the stream. That's pretty small. That one will be out this weekend, but commercial stuff not really this year. Hello Quantum HG. Can we make a project with PyDroid 3? I've never used it. If you're talking about like releasing it, I have no idea. I've never used it. What is the name of the theme? It's like is it SETI Dark or something? I don't know. I think it's something SETI. But it doesn't even matter anymore because Adam's deprecated. I don't even think you can download it nowadays. Let me see. Let's see here. I like how the Wikipedia page already says was. Haha. So you go to the page for Adam and it just takes you to the fact that it's shut down as of 2 days ago. I don't think you can download it, so it doesn't you can't even download any more themes anyway, so it doesn't matter at all. The only way to get this is if you already had it, or if you get the data directly from someone who does have it. Alright. Or actually, there might be GitHub repo or something for the theme, but I don't know how you would install it. Anyways. So, this function needs to be called when I actually update the moves. So that will be, is that over here? No, it's like, it's on the update render thing, isn't it? Or the pre-render, render prep, that's what it was called. Okay. So right here is where this happens. So we can do rt.node, I believe it's networking, .update moves. And then, so over here in the networking, that should do everything we need. Let's see if this works. I'm not super hopeful, but we will see. Let's start this one, call it A, and then we'll start the other one, we'll call it B. And the idea is that I should see the data over on the server. So we get, I don't know which one's which team. It crashed anyways. JSON decoder. Oh yeah, that makes sense. I didn't actually... I don't think I ever returned anything from the server here. So return and just notify success true. Alright, so we try that again. We give ourselves A, we make B, so we get our 2 players. So B connected first, I believe. I don't, well, A's first, I believe. Huh. Oh, that needs to be on its own thread. Yeah, but also I got a JSON decoder. The server didn't give an error, so I'm curious as to what happened there. Regardless, I do need to still put this on its own thread. That can't be just like a plain request. Here's what I'm gonna do. Self.update move, or schedule move update, or scheduled equals false, and then I'm going to do that. So I'm going to bring that over here and say true, and then I can take this code and then I can go over into here and say if self.scheduled move update, we can drop that, and then that will do the update. So that will put it on the other thread. That doesn't solve the issue of that decode error, so I'm not sure what we actually got there. I think I can figure it out. Hello? Need to kill that one. Hello. There we go. So we got 2 players. I think the one on the right goes. Okay, so this time I was able to move them, but because it's on a different thread. But I still get the error. Request that post. I'm not... what is the problem here? So it makes the post request to update moves. Oh, I didn't restart the server. That would be why. I think. So we need to start the other one. Alright. So make our moves. Crashed again. Unhashable type. Well, I actually got to the server this time. So it thinks. So here's the error I got. Unhashable type list. So the piece ID came in as a list. I'm a little bit confused about how that happened. Here's what I'll do. I'll go over to the server stuff right here. So we got the piece ID as a list. So that's going over into game state, board state, under the merge. What line is that? That's 173. Right here. What? I was pretty sure the move order was just a list of... Well, first of all, that should be an empty list when I start. Oh, this is move order, not, There's a piece move order, I believe, not the actual... Wait, let me see. So if I go over to... actually it should be in here. If I go to the render stuff down here, we get the move... Wait, move order? That's correct. So the move order is not the turn order, I believe. So my question is, what on earth is in here? Let's do print move order. That's the one from the client, and then we get the self.move order. And then I'll just restart the server and see what actually happened here. So we get user A, we need to create user B, user B. Look at that, a bot. And there are 3 accounts. Alright. So okay. I don't know how that happened. It's a list of an empty list. So the question is, how did it get to that state? Huh. So yeah, I can bring it over and you can see. We got ourselves an empty list. That's what the server's got. Well, a list of an empty list. So somehow that happened. So I would assume somehow on the board creation that happened. So game.game. Wait. So looking for game right here. Assign game, create game is what I'm looking for. Games.create game. Where? I'm just gonna look up all the references for the move order to see where something could have been inserted like that. Because, well, it wouldn't have been in that function. So there's this line right here. You can see that may be happening. Nope. So here's all the merge stuff. Here's just our plain append. Unless the piece.uid is somehow an empty list, I'm not sure how this would get added. Merge, move order. What's going on here? Oh no, that's expected. There's this. This is not run by the server though. That's on the client side. I'm gonna double check and make sure. So the second one is in fact the server. So I'm looking for additions to it. So there's times where it's overwritten. Like right here. Where you pull it from JSON. But I don't think that's the issue. I think it's it would pretty much have to be this one, I believe. But this is in what function? Render prep. This doesn't even get called by the server. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do or wait. I think I was gonna throw it into some like game loop or something to just throw an upprint statement to see what's going on. But there's no loop. There's only updates upon request. So having a hard time figuring out where that would even come from. Well, let's see here. So on the server, the this should not change anything. Assign game. What does assign game do? Just updates the current game. So it creates the object. And then What is this? It just prints out the game object. How about we print out games.game1 dot, and then we grab our friend the move queue. Or not move queue, it's move order. So this should not get touched again. Can just do game right here. I seriously don't know where this is going wrong. Alright. User A. We grab user B. Alright. Move that one. Move that one. So let's see what we got here. It's not even incorrect until... Oh wait, hold up. Post to game state. What? Is that it? Hold up. So, I think that's our clue. We get a post to game state. Does game state, just like fetching the game state, somehow mess up the data? Oh, wait a second. I think it's when you get multiple requests. Yeah, wait, so, okay. Over here, this needs to be set to false. It's blasting the server with requests. And then the other thing, let's remove this. Go over to the board state. Pretty sure it's this code right here that's causing a problem. Yeah. This should not be append, it should be plus equals. Because otherwise you end up with nesting. So let's start the server back up. Get our user A. And then we grab user B. Alright, they're connected. Let's move our pieces. See what the server says. So the server saw no movements, which was interesting. Let's try and swap the pieces around, maybe it'll see it. Oh wait, no, that's after. Print move order, move queue. A, B, alright, let's move our two pieces. It'll take 3 turns to figure out whether or not this is working. The first turn's pretty long, I believe, because it needs to give people time to like connect and stuff. And then we can move like these down, and then theoretically it should. What? What? Okay. It did not. The server did not accept the moves, so we need to figure out what's happening there. Let me just read in chat real quick. You thought it was something bigger and available for other IDs? It might be the theme. I don't know. I wouldn't know. Alright. So I'm gonna go in here and figure out where things went wrong. So do print piece ID. Didn't I have move order? That's not correct. I forgot to reset the server. So print the move the piece ID, and then print piece if that's valid, and then if the team is valid, alright, let's just do print piece the owner team ID. So we'll see right here what the problem was, theoretically. A. Oh no, let's call this one B. And this one was A. Alright, so we move. I'm moving right on the right. Okay. And then we move the gray one on the right and the red on the left. And then it didn't like that. Alright. Let's see what happened here. So we can go over to the game state, or board state. So it prints out the ID, and then it tells me wait. So it does not get past this if statement. Print self.piece map. That's what I'm gonna do. That keys, I guess. And then that should tell me what the server's pieces look like. Because apparently the client's IDs are not making sense to the server. So move that piece. Alright, so I got the request, and I forgot to restart the server, so it doesn't even matter. So I restarted the server, I run this again. Alright. Alright, I got the information I needed. It's right here. Alright, so here's what we've got. We're looking for this piece, and the server says, well, how many digits is this? This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6. Wait, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's 4 digits. Hold up. Here's a little bit of a trick. S equals this. So we now have the string s.find. And then we do there's no instance of that number. Where's that number coming from is my question. Is it not getting the piece IDs? Is that what's happening? I'm confused. Alright. Here's what I'm gonna do. Over in the client, well, let's go networking right here. We can do print self.nd game.board, and then we can grab the piece map.keys, and then that should be that should tell me what the differences are between the client and the server's piece IDs. I don't know why it's different, but whatever. Presumably the client must be like generating its own IDs somehow. Alright, that's what I need. So here we have a bunch of our IDs here. They do not line up at all. I don't think, not that I can see. It's strange. Yep. That is not correct. I'm not sure where these IDs are coming from. So the board is synced, right? I wasn't paying attention. Let's see. Wait, that's the wrong window. I need the server. So we start up that, and we start up this. Let me make sure that the boards are actually synced. I thought they were, but maybe not. The boards are in fact synced, so I'm not sure what happened there. So it gets all the same piece locations and types, but somehow the IDs are wrong. So let's go over to, I guess, where is it that I did the board state stuff? Let's print out on the sync board. Let's just print resp. That should tell us what the IDs we're getting are, and should make it obvious what's going on here. It's wrong. We just have to make our one move to the server to get it, and then that is all we need. Alright. So right here we have all of our, what is going on? Okay. I'm gonna pop this into like a JSON viewer so I can actually read it. Almost there. Alright, so we take this. I'm gonna pop this into a JSON viewer. And then there we go, there's our data. And now we look at what this says compared to what the server says. So down at the bottom here we get, oh. Huh. Okay, there's the problem. So the pieces don't actually contain that information. That's a mistake. Well, let's see here. So under pieces, UID right here. Alright, so from JSON should be able to do self.uid equals data UID, and then the to JSON should also set the UID data self.uid, and then that should get the data across. Now if we run the game, let's see. You got our two things in. Here. Okay, we got a cure. Says that the piece ID is invalid. Since this is setting here on the left, that means that this move queue is does not contain the ID, which is strange. All right. Well, let's get rid of some of those print statements I threw in. So we don't need this anymore. Or that. And then we can go over to the server and remove some of the other stuff. So like all this is a little bit unnecessary. So it got through here. And then it went all the way over to right here, and this is where it got tripped up. So the piece ID from the valid move order, which is coming from... Wait. Piece ID is from this move order. So all I have to do is print move order, move queue, and I should be able to see what happened there. The amount of bugs I'm running into on this thing is a bit of a pain, and unusually large. Right. So okay, so now it does like crash. What? My stomach's growling. But I think I got the pieces backwards, so they're considered invalid moves, and then yeah. Alright. There we go. There's the crash. What we get? Alright, one's an integer and the other's a string. There's a problem. The ID is normally not a string. So my question is, why is it a string in there? Oh, does JSON force that? That might be what happened. Can you not have a string as a key in JSON? That might be what happened. Or should not, it's not a string, a number as a key. That might be what happened. Let's, do I still have that? No, I don't have that thing up anymore. Alright. So, oh wait a second. So it's saying that on the right, oh wait, okay. This is weird. So here's what I'll do. Game state. Move queue. So it just takes it straight up. That should not be a string. I'm not sure why it is a string. Here, I'm gonna throw some code into the server to fix that data. Here, I'm gonna do this. Move q equals k move q k for k in move q, and then I can take that and go int, and then that'll fix that, I believe. Hopefully it doesn't crash now. Can we finally get the moves updated, please? User A, user B. And then we move both. Did not crash. That's a good sign. And I can see that the move queue updated. Alright, so here we go. I actually got what I wanted. So you can see down here, after both the moves are saved, and you can see it in the queue. Which means that when it gets to the round end, it should be able to process it. And then if the client were to request an update from the server, it should get that information. My avatar looks like Sakamoto from Nichijou. It's funny because I actually know who that is. I would kind of disagree with that because they have red ears instead of a scarf. What are some cool backend projects to do to put on a resume? I'm trying to think. Backend isn't particularly exciting. So, I mean, a lot of the heavy lifting for some websites is done on the backend. So, I guess the thing that would look good on a resume is something that involves a database. So, something that looks good on a resume would be like, here's what I did that would look good looks good on a resume. This service I made for Beat Saber. This has a massive amount of data. Ignore the fact that it takes that long to load this page. I need to cache these numbers because it actually just adds these up upon request, which takes a while. But 13,000 users, 5 million scores, 160,000 leaderboards. This is a complex service database-wise. This is something that looks good on a resume just because of how much data I'm dealing with. So there's like lots of data. Let's just do like right here or something. Yeah. So yeah, the service is just full of tons of information that looks good on a resume. I would say just generally that like back end wise, you're not like you would need to have something that involves a database if you're gonna have it look if it's gonna look good on a resume. So I don't know. I can't think of anything fun and easy off the top of my head. Just do something that interests you that involves databases is my recommendation. Anyways, from here we have this part done. Or actually, I'm gonna put it all the way over there. Let's put it right here so I can make sure. Alright, there we go. So that's done. So next is at the assumed round end time. Okay, so there's a hidden step in between these two where the server actually ends the round and processes all the moves. And then actually no, it sends it to the clients. And then what it needs to be is that it won't accept moves while it's in the end round time. So it'll have all those moves cached, it sends them out to the clients, and then after 3, right, like actually on 5, that's when the server actually executes all the moves. So it needs to be able to block the requests from the clients if it believes the round is over. So that comes from, let me see here. So it creates the game. Where does it set the round in? Is that just automatic somewhere in here? There's a thing that keeps track of. Oh wait, no, that's in a different object, isn't it? We got the game states. And I believe when I make a game state, that probably just generates the let's see, game state right here. Yeah, right here. It automatically just fills that out. So what that needs to be is it needs to not loop onto the next one. I don't know if the server even does that. So the way, what should trigger that? I guess I need a background process running on the server to update the games, something like that. So do I might have that already. No, I don't. Okay. So I can start a thread here. We can do def update games pass or while true time.sleep 0.05 and then we can do import threading, and then down here we say threading dot, is it thread? If I go over to networking, we can see how it works. I think it's starting that thread, yeah. And then you do target. So target equals, we want it to use update games. Main game thread equals that. Game thread dot start. Alright, now from here we can say for game in games, or let's just do games dot update. That should be, I'm not calling that already, am I? I am assuming I just filled that out and I'm not actually using it anywhere. If I did, it would probably be in here. Yeah, I don't see it. So games.update. We go through here and then game ID equals game.id, I believe. Or let's do for game ID in games, and then we can do game equals self.games game ID, and then we can use that same game ID to get the game state. Use self.games game states, and then we do game ID, and so what we're looking for here is the end of the round. Actually, wait. So we need to disable the part where you can update your moves after the round is over. That shouldn't be allowed. So in the game state, we have this turn end thing. If the time is past that, it should not accept the moves. So we'll go over to right here. We say game state equals games game, what is it? Games, I don't think there's a short way to get this. So game states user.current game ID, and then we can do game state turn end if time.time is greater than the turn end, or no, it needs to be less. Then we can do all of this stuff right here. And then That'll block all the moves after the round is over. So now it needs to figure out how long it takes to play through all those moves. I think there's a thing that estimates that for me, that I wrote before. So if I go through, wait, where did I put that? So games has the update function. So in here, I need to figure out how long I have for the moves to execute. And then I need to add some like padding on the time. Like just for the different clients to play through everything. So I would give it maybe a second of padding or more. Let's go over to execute one move. Nope. Wait, so there's got to be a thing in here that estimates how long it'll be to. Maybe it doesn't. Let's see how this actually works. I can mathematically do it. So that's actually in game, I believe, right? Yeah. It is. How? I guess there's a timer in here. So under execute one move, it probably forces it to wait. Yeah, it does. So the live move buffer. Alright, so right here. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. So I count the moves. And then. Okay, so. So I just noticed a problem. If I just mathematically calculate it before I execute the moves, then if someone sends a bunch of invalid moves, they can freeze up the server, or well, the server will think there's a lot of moves to go through. That doesn't make any sense. Actually, no, that's fine because the player moves gets capped, so it would get filtered out at the beginning. So they could be invalid moves, so it'll make it take a little bit longer, but it's not a huge deal. So I can just grab this constant right here. Where does this come from? Okay, miss const. So I can go over into here. Wait, where was it? I need to grab games. Okay. So we take that constant from scripts.misc.const, import that constant. Take this and we can do game dot, and then we grab our move order. And we take the length of that by that, and then you add 1 second onto that. And then here's what I'll do. I'll drop this actually into boards game state. And then I'll do at property def replay end self return, and then we can do this. Actually, no, it doesn't have access to the game, so I can't do that there. I do have to go back to here. So if time is greater than that, plus we grab the game state dot turn end. This is when the round actually ends. So for this, I just need to run through all the moves and execute them. Let me see if there's so the main implementation has the timer on it, which I don't want. So they start execute moves. Okay, so it generates the move buffer. Okay. So I think the way I'm going to do this is I can do a instant equals false. If instant, we do something, otherwise we do this. And then if it's instant, we can grab, we just give it like 0 or something. And then if I grab, we can do this, 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 we also want this. And then we can go over to here. So this is the end of the round. We drop all of this stuff in, and instead of doing if, we do while. So we go through all of the moves. We start to execute, go through all the moves, finish, and then we move. That'll move us to the next round. I'm not sure if the finish updates the. That does not update the actual game state. So the game state needs to be set to a new round. So game state dot, I'm gonna do this function for it. Set turn end. So I can go over to here and say that. All right. So now. Time plus 5. Do I have this? I probably don't. No, I do. Wait, yeah. Self.board. So this is referencing self.board a lot, which is not okay. This, I believe that's just a game right here. And then I can just do all that. All right. So it'll set the turn end. I'm not sure if I agree with it being 5 seconds. That's not a whole lot of time, but whatever. So it'll run through the moves here, and then that should be the client needs to be able to fetch the moves at the round end here. I think I should give a little bit more time for the replay, just in case there's a small amount of moves and it takes a while to get the request in. The other option is I can store a record of the moves on the round end. Wait, so if I go over here and I say here's what I'm gonna do. If that, we can do, I just want this part. So this is the round input end, and then this is the round replay end. So these end in different, well, these are different phases of the game. So right here on the input end, we want to take game, wait, I'm gonna add something over here. Self.old move queue, self.move order, or that should be old. All right. So this needs to be cached and then reset when the turn advances. So let's go over to here. So that should be reset right here. But right here, this should be set to game.moveQ. We just want a reference to it. Game.move order. Oh wait, you know what? I should have thought this through a bit more before I did this. so the moves, the move order needs to be filtered based on valid moves. Oh wait, no, the clients will filter that. Yeah, it's fine, never mind. Because the client and the server have the same logic for processing moves. The only way you see something that's invalid is if you're hacking. So we just send this out. And then we need to get the clients requesting that data, so that needs to have an endpoint. So let's go over to the server and say at app.root we'll do round moves. What is, wait, there's round end. This is the one I was looking for. So it needs to, what is the logic I said? At assumed round end time, make requests every 0.25 seconds for round results. Round results specify the round resolve end time calculated by a server. Round resolve end time. Resolve end time. Okay. So only problem, I'm trying to deal with the problem of potentially having early requests and late requests and stuff like that. You know what? It doesn't need the round end time. I don't think there's any reason why I should need that, because it plays through the request and then it just waits for the round ID to update. So it actually doesn't need the round end time at all. So we just need the round results. So we go over to here. That's this endpoint. We just need the round moves. So return JSONify. We say move order. We can grab game.move order, I believe, right? Game.move order. Oh, no, it's the old move order is what we want, and then the old move queue. So we take those two things, and then we do move queue, game.old move queue, and then so that'll give us the information the client needs here. So the client, and then well, right here, this is where it needs to get that info. Here's how I'll do this. So there's a game state. Whenever the game state resets, when this occurs, oh wait. So if the turn progress, so this is the end of the turn, we make the request. So we do self.networking dot let's say fetch moves. So I'm going to add into the game state a thing for self.waiting for moves equals false. So this is just a flag I'm going to use to keep track of when I'm waiting for moves. Self.game state dot. Let me just take this and we say that's true. And then actually I don't even have to touch the networking. I can just take this info. I can go over to the networking and put in here Oh, this is the turn end right here. So this is actually where I need. It should be able to do it automatically. Trying to think of how I should work through this logic here. Well, let's start from the networking. So right here, this is where we need to make the request to the server. So self.post. Actually, is this a post or a get? I think it should be get, right? No, it needs to use ID for the to get the game. So server, we do round end. We do user ID self.nd state .public ID. Alright, so we get the public ID. And then, so that goes to here. Use the ID to get all that stuff. So from this, we get that. And then from here, we do self.nd game.board.move order equals resp move order. And you do the same thing for the queue. I might have to do, I'm gonna have to do that integer conversion thing. So we do k resp move q k for k in that. Convert the k to an int. And then, yeah, so it writes onto that. So we have our moves ready. So what I'm going to do here, actually, I'm going to take this out of here and go into state and say self.replaying. No, actually it makes more sense for it to be over here. Self.replay moves equals false. And the way that's going to work is I set it true in the networking right here. So we do self.nd game state, and then we do .replay moves equals true. Then from here, well, it just leaves that. So it only needs to get it once, so we'll do this. If not that, then we go through here and do all that. Alright, so now that it gets marked with the replay moves, the client needs to be able to play through that. So replay moves. So if the game state says replay moves, which will get updated by the networking, we start the execute. Boy. So this, I believe I can just actually just ignore that, and then it'll get pulled when I sync with the server for the round begin. So let's see, attempt sync board. Yeah, it syncs the game state. So I can go over here. So this will trigger when this does. This can't trigger until this does. This one will be called if. Alright. So this only needs to be called once. And then that needs to be set to false. So I need a couple states here. So I'm going to go, instead of making it a boolean where it's true false, I'm going to switch it to being 0 through 2. So we'll go over to here. We say this is 0. And then if that is true, we can do now if self.game or game state dot replay moves is 1, then we start the execute. Now this can be running anytime that the whole thing is true, and then this is where it becomes false. Game state dot replay moves equals 0. So specifically, this needs to be set to 2 now, so that this doesn't get called multiple times. And then this will fill up this thing, so that this will run until this runs out, and then this will run, and then it'll get set back to 0. And then so when the replay moves is 0, we need to be able to make the request to sync the game now. So what we're looking for, I guess, is we could say this is 3 now, and I could say if this is 2. No, I don't like that. So I'm going to do replay moves equals 0. That kills this whole thing right here, and then I can just tell the server to sync it. So attempt sync board. Nope. So this should be called. So it'll only process it if the expected turn is what the expected turn is. Is this a game state? Where is the turn ID tracked? Oh, it's in the board. So we need to expect a turn ID plus 1. So I can go into the networking and say over here in game, I don't want this to loop back onto itself because it's going to call itself again because here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that 2 thing again. So, or not 2, we're putting it to 3. And then if self.game_state.replay moves is 2. Alright. So now goes to 3, and then it needs to be set back to, alright. So else we go right here and we attempt to sync the board with self.end_game.board. And then we can grab our turn ID, and that will be our expected turn. We add 1 to that. So it will just keep doing that. Is there, yeah, okay. So we do synced equals that. So if we get synced is true, that means that the server advanced to the next round, which means that we can do this equals false. And then not only that, but our turn progress will be updated now. Our turn progress will be updated to well, there. So we do that. That updates the turn end. Oh wait, where's turn? Oh, that's an attribute here based on turn start and turn end. All right. So we can I'm trying to think, is that everything? Let's see. Request round state, this is done, except I think, is this on the 5th tick or no? No. I'm gonna move this out a bit. So that... There we go. If I wrote the code perfectly somehow, the code might be working and the game may be playable. So that might be done. At assumed round end time, make requests every round results. Client shows moves. That should be done. This should just be done when the thing resolves, because it's just requesting the next round. Yeah, I'm gonna read chat before I take a look at the game. What projects do I recommend for a web dev job? I would say, I don't know, just anything full stack. So you want experience for everything from the database all the way to like the front end, like UI stuff. So that's the easiest way to get a job, is if you know the full stack, I guess. So yeah, you need to know databases, you need to know like your backend, you need to know how the networking gets set up, like you should deploy an actual website, and you need to be able to do the front end and maybe all the frameworks for JavaScript there as well. I mean, the problem with recommending projects for applying for jobs is that if I recommend the same project to every single person, then it'll be a common project and will no longer be, well, okay, well, let's put it this way. If everyone does the same, I guess, beginner projects for the resumes, then it will be the same for everyone and not interesting. And specifically, if you're doing something that's already been done, or something very similar to something that's already been done, it doesn't look too good on a resume, because there's resources for like do it step by step pretty much, which is not what they're looking for. So you really want something that's unique. You don't want to be using ideas that other people have been using for their resumes. So it really has to be something that interests you and is your own thing. Otherwise, I mean, like, if I were personally friends with you, I could give you an idea that no one's used, maybe. But yeah, I can't just give ideas to everyone. Should you be watching this if you're new? You've only learned up to loops and functions. I would say probably not. I'm doing networking stuff here, although I'm doing a simple form of networking. I have my MMO type game has more real-time networking. This is using just kind of web requests in a Flask server. Yeah, so you're probably not gonna understand what's going on here. Maybe like broadly you would, but you wouldn't really understand the code if you're only up to loops and functions. Am I planning on trying retro gadgets? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Is that like a game or something? I don't even know. Anyways, let's start up the server and see if it crashes. It probably will. I don't have any print statements in here, so if this works first try, it would be the most impressive things running on the first try I've ever done, but I doubt it will. I've had some cases where I've written like 200 lines and it works on the first try, but I mean, this is actually probably less than that, but there's a lot of networking logic, which makes it harder. So, alright, we need to move our pieces. I might have these pieces backwards. We're about to find out. No, it looks good. So when the turn ends, it should try to make a request to the servers for the moves. It's making the round end request. Okay, so it's stuck making requests for the game state. Okay, I wasn't paying attention. I don't know if the pieces moved. So let's try that again. I don't know. I was not expecting the pieces to move. I was looking for the crash because that was just what I was expecting to happen. Oh. Hang on here. But yeah, I was just expecting a crash to happen. I wasn't looking at the pieces to see if they moved. So let's connect. I think this one should be... No, I think it's gray that goes first, right? Okay, this one needs a bit, there we go. So let's move my two pieces. I don't know. I got a crash. Okay, neither of those are valid moves, so I gotta kill it. So I guess the one that connects first is red, something like that. But I did get a crash on one request. Oh, so the thread that's running the game, we got time is not defined, which, oops, literally just gotta import it. Alright, so I'm gonna put that one on the right, and then this one on the left. Oh. Here, let me try that again. So this one on the right, this one on the left. We do A, B, and then hope it doesn't crash. So I think this one's red, maybe. Yes, it looks good. So I got a red's going to, they're both on white going to black. Okay, I got a crash. I think that might be an improvement. My question is, why did it try to update moves right there? Can I kill this? No. Alright, so here's what happened here. We've got enemy positions. Oh boy, this is deep in the move execution logic. So it's on the game update. It's trying to finish the round. So you can see, why are these after? Well, that'll be another problem. But so it tries to finish the round. Oh no, that's fine, I guess, because it saves the backup, right? But let me see. So games over here, we get. No, this should not be. I think it just takes so long for the request to go through that it. Huh? That's a funny. So I'm thinking maybe I don't overwrite them here, just so that I can access them after the round is over. And then... I'm a little bit concerned about the timings on this. Deal with early requests for round moves. And I'll go over here to deal with early requests for round end before old move queue gets updated. So we do that. All I have to do, I guess, is attach a round ID to the response, but for the time being, I can deal with that. I need to figure out what the actual error was here, though. So unhashable type list. Okay, I see what happened. So I believe the way that the moves are stored. If I pull up move Q, goes, nope, not that. Here you go. So this is a tuple, and I need to port those as tuples, like when I receive them. So both the server and the client need to do this. So on the server here, I need to do move. I think I can just do tuple right there. But yeah, tuples are hashable, lists are not. So now if I go over to here, where did I do it? Is it here? Yes. So I take a tuple of that, and then we restart the server and see if that fixes it. That's not the server. Alright. Start up the game. So if I remember correctly, the first one to connect is red. So the one on my right needs to be on red here. So this one's red, this one's gray. So now let's see if what they're gonna do. I can see on the server that I moved the correct pieces. It's got the movement data. Let's see if we can execute it. Oh, it actually moved it. It's on turn 2, but I get like no time. Did I just skip turn 3 because it was taking too long? I think I did. That's funny. But I can see it playing through the turns, which is good. So like I can move my pieces again, probably. It didn't want to move this one. Oh, there it went. So it's a bit finicky because the response time is so slow. Why is it crashing? That's funny. All right. It sort of works. It looks like there's a lot of issues here. I think what happened here is that I need a lock on the data or something. Let's see. So we got the board state 247. All right. So it shouldn't get a piece ID it doesn't know about. Oh, got it as a string. Piece not move. It's just based on move queue. Yeah. Well, it came through as a string again. I'm just gonna force it to be an integer. I don't know why it just came through as a string that one time. I'll do that. And then over on the server, we do the same thing. int UID for UID in there. And then we reset the server. Just make sure that it at least kind of still works. Can I restart the server? Hello? It's like frozen. That's interesting. I can't kill it. Alright. Hi, server. We'll give ourselves player A. And then... where's my other... I had another command prompt. I don't know where it went. What did it... oh. Active chess pygame.py. Alright. I need to put in the second user. I just need to make sure this still works. Alright, so I see both the moves got to the server. And now I just wait. Okay, cool. I played through the moves, it went to the next turn. Everything looks good, didn't crash. Alright. Will I switch code editor now that Atom has been sunsetted? Yes, I probably will. At the moment, the only other one I have experience with is VS Code, but there's some other ones I was gonna look at too. Although one of the requirements for me is that it supports tab 9 because I do use it a lot. Yeah. Anyways, so all of this is done, kind of. Make networking more performant. I might switch to my TCP networking thing, just because it's so much faster than Flask. I don't like waiting like a second for my requests to go through. That's obnoxious. So yeah, I might switch that over, which wouldn't be too difficult because if you look at the code's pretty similar. My JSON networking thing's modeled after Flask, so like you use it like you're using a Flask, but it's faster. It's just, I think, a little bit more finicky, maybe more likely to crash for some random reason, which was my concern, but I don't want to deal with Flask's slowness, so I think what I'll end up having to do is switching to using my networking stuff. So if I go over to here, so you see I have these get and post things. I don't know if I use get, but it shouldn't be hard to swap these parts out because it just takes a payload, an endpoint and a payload. I just take that same information. The main difference is that I get a callback instead of a return value on my thing, which might be a bit annoying. Like realistically, the callback is better for asynchronous programming, but I did not write the code for callbacks, so that'll be annoying. Trying to think if there's anything else I could do, because it's hard to deal with the fact that it takes like over a second. I think it's a couple seconds for those requests to go through. Yeah. I do think that the ideal solution is to actually just switch to my networking stuff that I wrote. It's just going to take some reworking. So let's say by switching to custom JSON TCP networking module. And then when this gets done, this becomes a potential issue. So I think play test. So this is where I can play test, I think. Oh, here's show which team each player, or so which color each player is in game, because at the moment I can't tell who's who, which is a bit of a problem. Okay, so maybe allow blocks. Okay, so this can be done later. Pawns are probably gonna work differently. What was it? There was an idea for them. I forgot what it was. Whatever. Anyway, so once I get through all this random stuff, we can do a playtest and have a proper chess battle royale experience. But this is probably at least one more stream. These two shouldn't be too hard to deal with, actually. I don't know. I thought I already had time sync, whatever. I don't know, maybe I can finish this next stream. I think I can. But, yeah, so I think that'll be it for this stream. I got to a decent stopping point. I don't want to overhaul all of the networking right now, when I normally don't stream past 1 PM my time. So yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here. Thanks for watching. I'll have a new game and a time lapse up soon. You'll see the YouTube video for it, and then the link will be in the description, or you can go to itch.io or whatever, and just go to my Discord server. You'll also see it. So however you wanna keep up with that is up to you. But yeah, so I'm gonna end the stream here. Thanks for watching.